The year is 1804. Dawn breaks over a field in Weehawken, New Jersey. Two figures stand silhouetted against the rising sun. One is Alexander Hamilton, former Secretary of the Treasury. The other is Aaron Burr, the sitting Vice President of the United States. This is no ordinary duel. These men are not hot-headed youths, but elder statesmen. They are here to settle a matter of honor. Shots ring out. Hamilton falls, mortally wounded. This duel, etched in American memory, marked a turning point. It forced society to confront the bloody absurdity of dueling. The word itself evokes images of swords clashing and pistols firing. But what drove people to risk their lives over insults and slights? To understand, we must travel back in time. Dueling, in its various forms, has existed for centuries. It flourished in Europe throughout the Renaissance and Enlightenment. From noblemen to writers, men of standing were expected to defend their honor. This wasn't just about personal pride. Honor was social currency. To lose it was to lose your place in society. The code duello varied, but certain elements remained constant. A challenge, often delivered in the form of a glove thrown at the offender's feet, was the first step. Then came the seconds, friends entrusted to negotiate a settlement or arrange the details of the duel. Weapons, usually swords or pistols, were chosen. And finally, the duel itself, a tense dance of violence with potentially fatal consequences. While it sounds barbaric today, dueling was steeped in ritual and rules. These were not meant to glorify violence, but to contain it. The choice of weapons, the distance between combatants, the number of paces, all were governed by strict protocol. Seconds played a crucial role, acting as witnesses and mediators. They could call a halt to the duel if honor was satisfied, even without bloodshed. In some cases, firing into the air was an acceptable way to end a duel without taking a life. The significance of dueling went beyond settling personal disputes. It was seen as a way to maintain order in a society without effective law enforcement. A man's reputation was his bond, and the fear of a duel served as a deterrent against slander, cheating, and other dishonorable behavior. Of course, this system was far from perfect. It favored the wealthy and powerful, and innocent people were still killed or injured. Section 4. A civilized end to civilization. The 19th century witnessed a gradual decline in dueling. Several factors contributed to its demise. The rise of democracy and the rule of law offered alternative means of resolving disputes. Newspapers, once complicit in spreading gossip that led to duels, began to denounce the practice as barbaric. Public opinion shifted, influenced by the tragic deaths of prominent figures and the growing sense that dueling was an anachronism in a modernizing world. The decline wasn't immediate or universal. Dueling persisted longer in some parts of the world, particularly in the American South, where notions of honor and chivalry remained strong. However, even there, the practice eventually faded away, replaced by less lethal forms of conflict resolution. Section 5. The death of honor. The end of dueling marked a profound shift in societal values. It signified a move away from individual honor as the ultimate arbiter of justice and towards a system based on laws and institutions. Some might lament the loss of a certain code of conduct, a sense of personal responsibility that dueling represented. However, it's hard to argue that the world isn't better off without this particular form of ritualized violence. The question remains, did we lose something valuable with the decline of dueling? Did the concept of honor, once so central to personal identity, disappear along with the practice? Or did it simply evolve, taking on new forms in a changing world? Section 6. A different age. Today, we might shake our heads at the seemingly absurd reasons people once had for risking their lives. But dueling, for all its flaws, offers a window into a different time, a time when honor was paramount and reputation was everything. It reminds us how much our values and beliefs are shaped by the world around us, and it forces us to ask ourselves, what will future generations think of our methods for resolving conflict? Will they look back on our time with the same mixture of fascination and horror that we reserve for the age of dueling? Only time will tell.